Okay, good morning. It's Friday, October the 10th, 2025. This is the regular meeting of the Board of Lorain County Commissioners. Please rise for the pledge to the flag. And to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Commissioner Riddell.
Here.
Commissioner Moore.
Here.
Commissioner Gallagher.
Here.
We have a quorum. Today we have a recognition on the 30th anniversary of the Million Man March, Holy Day of Atonement. Paul Hassan is here.
Good morning. Reconciliation and Responsibility, celebrating the 30th anniversary of the historic Million Man March, the Holy Day of Atonement. Join this in interreligious, multicultural, and intergenerational Holy Day of Atonement at 1 p.m. on October 18th, 2025 at God's Kingdom, 423 Washington Avenue, Lorain. Keynote speaker is Imam Paul Hassan. There are many challenges facing humanity and require unity of people coming together that results in justice and peace in all forms. The time is now to have atonement, or at one moment, which literally means unity. Knowledge is an essential tool for acquiring power. In learning more, we better understand the depth of the problems in our communities, such as mental health, guns, violence, inadequate education, racism, and hate. In learning, we need to reconcile our differences nonviolently, yet forcefully, and take responsibility to act to protect ourselves and our families, communities, and beyond. Signed at Lorain County Board of Commissioners, October 10, 2025.
Like to come up and speak? Yeah.
Which is a new person on the block?
Oh,
This,
Me.
Mr. Gallagher.
Okay, what I need to do here, as far as what I need a name, address, anything that's not necessary.
what?
It is necessary.
Yes, your name and address, please.
Okay, name, address, Imam Hassan, 12025 Shaker Boulevard, Cleveland, Ohio. I guess I relocated a couple of years ago. Reasons of, sometimes we have to do those things, obviously. But anyway, my work is here, so and I want to thank the Commissioner's office recognizing the Day of Atonement, which is such an important day. Not only that, I want to thank all of you here again to give us this opportunity to make these short remarks. Also, it is the month of domestic violence in terms of the national observance in terms of the kind of things that our women in this country continue to have to deal with in terms of respecting and protecting our women. So this is a month that they do this here across the nation, and we also partner with them for the month for the Holy Day of Atonement, making sure that we never forget the importance of the woman in terms of the responsibility we have to protect her and respect her, and not to treat her like she shouldn't be treated. And this is the challenge we have today in America. Lastly, I want to thank again this day, Holy Day of Atonement, Reconciliation, Responsibility. With Medicaid cuts and Medicaid and Medicare and food stuff, man, this is trying times for people, and we certainly need the bodies of government, the bipartisanship, that they work together for the people. And the people are suffering because there's no bipartisanship in terms of working together. I'm not saying here, but I'm saying that we need to understand that, again, atonement, reconciliation, and responsibility that we have to God and we have to ourselves and our community. So I want to thank you again for allowing me to, ramble like I ramble, and, every year. And my friend, I don't know, it's been over 20 years. I sent her the information, and she gets it out to the public. But again, I want to thank, the county. I want to thank this great county, and I hope that we can reconcile and we can be responsible and we can come together, because that's what we did. 1.2 million black men, let me say this when I'm done, came together because we felt that we weren't being responsible to our families, to our communities. So we said that we want the world to know, wasn't anti-government, wasn't anti-anybody, was anti-self, that we were going to be better fathers, better brothers, better pastors, better cousins, better neighbors, and we did that. But today, the Holy Day of Atonement is a call to all men of nationalities, whatever your nationality is. It's a call for all of us to be better men to our families again and to our communities. Thank you again. And I know this is kind of off the cuff. I got to get a picture. I got a twin sister, and she said, you got to get a picture. So if it's okay for the commissioners to get a picture. If I don't get a picture, I'm with the last of it.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah.
Thank you again.
Is it identical?
I don't,
She's a girl.
Karen,
I mean, she's a woman.
Karen,
She's my
do you have a phone?
How you doing, man? What's going on, man?
I don't see Ann here.
Teresa, could you do it and we'll send
Karen's gonna do it. Yeah.
I got to be in the middle somewhere. Sure.
Y'all
ready?
Ready.
Thanks, Karen.
Karen. Sounds good. Glad to meet you.
Thank you, Mom, and you're welcome back in Lorain County anytime.
Oh, I just told a little story to my friend. I don't want to talk about that. That's another story.
But-
Thank you again.
Thank
And
you.
let's see if we can't spend, maybe instead of just one day, let's spend the whole next week working to that end.
Yeah, all next year.
Let's do that.
Every
Let's
day.
do that.
Let's do that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Under resolutions, number 1, investments,
Move to approve. Second.
discussion. Commissioner Moore,
Aye.
Commissioner Gallagher,
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell.
Aye.
Number 2, appropriations,
Move to approve. Second.
discussion.
Yeah, Casey, could you address the 1.9 million?
It's transit.
Oh,
Item number 4?
yes, certainly. So those are we were able to obtain the federal funds for the transit department, and so those funds came in. So we are appropriating those funds to take care of the VIA service that's being currently offered. So those are appropriating the funds to take care of those expenses.
And again, that was a successful grant, correct?
That's correct.
Good work, team.
Anything further? Commissioner Moore,
Aye.
Commissioner Gallagher.
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell.
Aye.
Number 3, transfers,
So moved.
Second.
discussion. Commissioner Riddell,
Aye.
Commissioner Gallagher,
Aye.
Commissioner Moore.
Aye.
Number 4, advances, repayments, there were none. Number 5, requisitions.
So moved. Oh, sorry, 1 of 2.
Page 2. You're reading ahead again.
Yes, I am. So moved now.
Second.
Discussion. Commissioner Gallagher,
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell,
Aye.
Commissioner Moore.
Aye.
Number 6, travel,
Move to approve.
Second.
discussion. Commissioner Moore,
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell,
Aye.
Commissioner Gallagher.
Aye.
Number 7, bills,
These are expenditures out of the general fund. Page 2. Page 3 is the special revenue funds. And page 4. Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion. Commissioner Riddell.
Aye.
Commissioner Gallagher.
Aye.
Commissioner Moore.
Aye.
Number 8, county commissioners may recess an executive session to consider the appointment, employment, dismissal, discipline, promotion, demotion, or compensation of a public employee or official, along with any other matters as specifically identified by motion in accordance with the Ohio Revised Code 121.22G1 through 8. Unless expressly stated otherwise during executive session, matters discussed in executive session are designated by the county commissioners as confidential. Because of the confidentiality of such matters is necessary for the proper conduct of government business, any disclosure outside of executive session is prohibited by Ohio Revised Code 102.03B. While in executive session, the county commissioners may discuss and deliberate at the matters at issue, but no votes may be taken until open session resumes.
And we will not have a,
Oh, okay.
nope, not today.
Made you read it. I didn't know if we were either, so.
Yeah, I didn't know either.
No surprise.
Shorter meeting today.
Right? Public comment on agenda items.
Okay. How this will work is we've got probably half a dozen here that want to speak. It's 2 minutes. We'll call them in the order that they were presented. And we'll take there are 6 concerning the insurance that's on today's agenda. There'll be 2 minutes. We have the hourglass up here. We'll flip it upside down. Please try and stay within the 2 minutes so that the others that want to speak can get their turn. The first one that we're going to call this morning is Jacob Reed.
Hi, how's everybody this morning?
Good morning.
Morning,
I'm
Jacob.
Jacob Reed. I'm president of UAW Local 2192. I just have a couple of quick questions for you guys. With the insurance, why is the reserve for the medical so high when the statutorily is only required to be about $4 million?
This is your time to speak.
Oh, I asked you the question, that's why.
Well, we're not going to have a conversation. It's your
Oh,
time
okay,
to speak.
gotcha. Where does the interest money earned in that amount go? And is the county allowed to borrow against that account? And what is the rationale behind such a high reserve when the county is protected by a stop-loss insurance? That's all I have.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Did you write those questions down?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Okay, second, we have Shauna Hartfield.
It's Hatfield.
Good
And-
morning. Could you please state your name and address for us?
Shauna Hatfield, 352 Hickory Run in LaGrange. In 2024 and 2025, my raises the years prior all went toward increased health insurance costs. I can't even afford to put my children on my own insurance since then, and they're now on Medicaid. My friends and coworkers at JFS are in the same situation or worse, where they have family coverage, and in return, many received pay decreases. So no real raises for 2 years, and now you want to increase our insurance costs again and decrease another pay increase, or decrease depending on what happens with the contract. We deserve to be able to pay for our basic needs and not have more money taken from us for insurance.
Thank you.
Thank you. Otis Lovejoy.
doing, Commissioners?
Morning.
My name's Otis Lovejoy. I live at 335 Oxford Avenue in Elyria. And I'm not going to lie, I had a couple questions, but I know you said you aren't answering questions.
No, but you can ask them.
Well, at this point, I don't necessarily see if the point of asking it, so I'm just going to state what I feel.
They'll be
all right?
addressed at some point.
Okay. Well, my questions was if you Commissioners have the same medical as us. And let me start by saying I respect you Commissioners. I respect the position. And I'm not going to lie. At times, I think, I would like to aspire to fulfill a job like what you guys have, help out the community and whatnot. And I'd love to see someone like myself from the community and a minority at that to hold a position like that, to be able to help out other people in the commission, in the community. And I see a lot of the things that you guys do that are good. I see how you guys share the money and you go towards different causes. But we're a cause also. I'm 44 years old, from this community. I work at Lorain County Job and Family Services, and I can't afford to pay the medical premiums. The last time you guys changed the medical, the insurance copay for hospital went up to, I think, $350. For some people, $350 is a lot of money. You're taking away a good portion of a paycheck just for one small emergency visit. If it wasn't an emergency, people wouldn't go. We have one individual that works with us. They had something minor going on, and they put off going to the hospital because they knew that it was minor, and they didn't want to pay that copay because they couldn't afford it. But because they neglected to go, they went into sepsis and almost died. Over $350. I don't think it's right. And if you're going to raise our insurance, that's your right. But I want you to think about this. For what you guys get paid, that's all those red shirts, just for you couple of people. We don't make much at all. So for us, it hits our pockets a lot different than it hits yours. And with that being said, if you're going to raise our insurance, at least raise our pays enough that we can afford to still pay that. Because if we get a 13% increase in insurance, but our pay is only 4%, that does not add up. That math don't math. That's it. Thank you for your time.
Nadine Lavstich? Did I say that right? Okay.
Nadine Plavsich, 2456 Larkmore Street, Lorain, Ohio. I'm speaking on behalf of Local 2192 and the hardworking county employees who depend on these healthcare benefits. The actuary's proposal of a 13% increase on healthcare premiums is unsustainable for our members who are already stretched thin by inflation and stagnant wages. This will be the largest hike in over a decade, and it threatens the financial security of the families who depend on the affordable health care. We understand that costs are rising, but a 13% jump is well above the national average of 8%. It feels like a windfall for insurers and not a fair reflection of costs for our members. You guys are eroding our collective bargaining gains through this, and our members can't absorb the hit without sacrificing necessities. Instead of approving a 13% hike, we urge you to cap the increase at 8%. You have the power to protect your workers by rejecting this excessive proposal. A lower increase would show your workers that you value them and what they do for the community. A 13% increase is a crushing blow to our workers who are already financially strapped. Remember that our members, your workers, are the backbone of the community who deliver vital services every day to the public. Show us that you value us by protecting our ability to afford health care without fear of financial ruin. Choose a fair rate that keeps our workforce strong and our communities served. Stand with your workers for once. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brian. It's your turn. Thank you for being patient and letting these folks speak.
I'm not sure how you did the order, because I was one of the first ones here, but that's okay.
Save it
Brian
the best for
Baker,
last.
But you're
49.
retired and these folks are working.
No, they're on paid time. They probably took vacation time right now, so they
okay.
can be here, okay?
Okay.
You're not paying them.
Yeah, well, you're not
Brian
getting,
Baker, 49822 Greystone Drive. So I was here 2 weeks ago, and I asked 3 questions, and I hope they'll be addressed today before you vote on this. And if you don't remember what they were, one was the $3.1 million that I think was not reported on rebates. The second one is, what is your piece on the 65 and older? Do they make them go on Medicare, and do they do an audit? And the third one is the collective bargaining, mandatory collective bargaining rights. 4117.08, and I think you guys have 3 current bargaining agreements open. Those are Job and Family Services, Children's Services, and the deputies. This tells you that they are mandatory subject to bargaining if it affects their wages, health care, or anything in that. I would, if I was any of these union reps right here, I would go to SERB, I would ask for an opinion to tell me if that's a mandatory subject to bargaining. If you guys impose it, I would file an unfair labor practice. But I think you guys should look into that before you vote on this. Those agreements are open. I think one of them's at impasse, so that means that you guys got an issue. That means you guys don't want to do nothing with this. So I would ask you to hold off on this till you get an opinion on this 4117.08 before you implement this increase on them. Thank you for your time, and I'll see you in the next public comment.
Yeah. Thanks, Brian.
okay, we will, I'm sure have some conversation when we get to that item on the agenda, but thank you for your comments.
Is there any old business?
Yeah, I want to bring up some issues that came up on Tuesday's meeting. There seems to be a lot of misinformation being floated around, so maybe we can clear it up under old business and what we did on Tuesday. If, Victor, there's this is right here. What we were presented with about a week or two ago was a document similar to this. What does the effect of the excessive tax increases from 23 that we all paid for had on every agency? Like, who receives the benefits of that increase and that excessive increase in property taxes? Could you go to page 2? At the bottom, what we saw was $510 million in property taxes collected, and the unvoted on tax increase that happened was to the tune of $587 million, which is a total of, basically what it is, that just tells you the increase. And what we did is we actually voted to reduce or I shouldn't say reduce, because there's a lot of confusion on what we did is we doubled your ability to credit your taxes. So everyone thought we doubled taxes, and we did not. What we did is we doubled your current exemptions, which mean not only if you're a senior that qualifies under the guidelines that has been established by the state, which is $40,000 more or a year in which you make or less, then you get a homestead exemption. The other, and that would be $9.1 million. Well, let's go back to this. Keep it on that page. Thanks, Victor. The other $8.3 million is the credit that you get from being an owner-occupied home. So what we did on Tuesday is we voted to pretty much reduce the excessive unvoted property tax increase by the tune of $59 million overall. So you're looking at a $17.4 million reduction for everybody in the community. If you take a look again at the bottom line here, and the reason I'm leaving this up is so people can screenshot it at home, all probably 14 of you watching, and you take a look and you got 510 million, went up to 58 million, or 587 million, which was a 15% increase. We're reducing it by 3 to 4%. That's all that we're doing. So if you could continue on, just look at the school systems. No, that's township trustees. Okay, here's the schools. Here's the effect on our schools by what we did. it was an adjustment of $11 million, $10.9 million. That is what we did. I spoke last night in Avon Lake. They benefited probably one of the better increases. I mean, they went from 40 million point two to 47.9. That was a $7.7 million gain that was not voted on, that was impacted our communities. All we did was adjust that gain by $1.3 million. So the school systems in Avon Lake still received $6.3 million more. So far I've gotten 3 complaints from 3 superintendents. Basically, they're saying we have to do 5-year budgets. Well, I'm sure in 2022, when they did their 5-year budget, they didn't anticipate the 5 or the 7 million increase. So therefore, all we did was say, we're just reducing the excessive increases that happened in 24. Can you go to the, I want to go to keep clicking there, Jay. Okay, now let's stop here. This is not under our control. So this is basically other agencies that receive your property taxes and their amount. Next page. These are the districts that also receive increases, and this is the net gain that they still receive. Next page. These are TIFs. Basically, they're just creative ways for developers to get financing, bottom line here. So, next page. Okay, let's look at this. The communities took a hit, which is, and I hate to say the word take a hit, because they actually received a net gain. If you take a look over at the final column, our communities received 58 million. There was an increase of to 68 million, $10 million increase. They still have a net gain of 8.5 million. So pretty much, if you go back to the main page, it's, that's full of all the data, Victor. Okay, take a look at this page. I felt that page was too complicated, has everything, everybody commingled. So what we did is we divided them up to all the different types of areas that were in sync with everything. Take a look at the next page. Oh no, that's a total. Leave it there. Go back. Sorry. So take a look at the go back, Vic. Thanks. Another confusion that I'm hearing out there is when we were speaking, when I'm out and listening and speaking, we hear, oh well, why don't we just have a sales tax and then we're all have 0 property tax? Well, when I told everybody that we, as a commission, would have to have a 0.75 increase in our sales tax, if the petition that's being handled around right now that I believe will be on the ballot next year, which means there'll be 0 property tax, I want to make it clear to everybody that when I was speaking, I was talking about Lorain County. We were elected to serve Lorain County. We weren't elected to be on school boards. We weren't elected to be your mayors, your city council members, your township trustees. We weren't elected in these districts. We're not elected on the mental health boards. All I did was I took the numbers that we, the 3 commissioners, are responsible for. So in order, if the property tax does get on the ballot, I believe it will pass, because if people will vote with their pocketbooks, if they see they don't have to pay property taxes, it's coming. The twofold here, seniors are feeling the pinch and homeowners are feeling the pinch. One of the ideas is the increased sales tax. Well, I know that we have the ability to do that as a board, and we could do that to the tune of 0.75 if it happens in November of 2026. But what I wanted to also show everybody at the bottom of the page there, the 587, if you subtract the 17 million from that, it takes you to about $560 million. Divide $560 million by 14 million, that's 0.25%. So if you want everything to remain the same in our county and you don't like property taxes, then we would have, everybody would have to come up with a new way to calculate that. So to compare apples to apples, that would be a 10% increase in your sales tax to cover that $550 million. So the other reason why we did what we did, or I wanted to do, because we only had 30 days to do it. There was a small window that this board had in order to help out our seniors and to help out homeowners. And a lot of the media is saying, oh, this is just for seniors and income. No, we did it for everyone that owns a home, and if it's owner occupied, you get a credit. The problem is, it's not that much, but it's something. and I was quoted yesterday in the interviews I was giving, that if I could triple it, I would. But the state of Ohio allowed us to double. And that's what we did on Tuesday. So the misinformation that's going out is usually typical what you see when people are discussing money from other government agencies. Sometimes a little bit of drama gets thrown in, and maybe it makes good headlines. But these are the facts that I presented. If you could go click to the next page, the county, no, next page. Keep going. One more. One more. No, one more. Yep, there, okay. This is what's under our control right here. This is what we can do. This is what your property tax is in regards to the county commissioners that we receive from sales tax. Not much. That's all we get.
Not sales tax,
What's
property
that?
tax.
Oh, I mean
From the
property
inside-
tax, yeah, from the
inside
inside. This is what we get right here. Sorry, but I did 5 meetings yesterday, so I'm getting. So this is the what we received. So we took a hit. Everyone took a hit, and that's what we did. But guess what? We found ways in our government, and the thing is, there's money coming in, but how we get it into the general fund is the key here, because that's how we operate to cover a lot of cost. So what we did is we took some of the inside millage in the bond retirement fund. We did that Tuesday. We reversed the difference between going to the general fund and what goes to bond retirement. That gave us an additional like almost $2 million. That offset our expense, our 436 and others that felt the crunch. So as we move forward, the purpose of this was to start the debate with your school boards and your superintendents to start working with Columbus to fix it. The courts ruled in 1997 that how we pay for our schools was unconstitutional. I'm not waiting another 30 years to see if they're going to fix it. So we did the best that we could do that we got from the state of Ohio, which in June gave us the ability to do this. So not only are the retirees, the veterans have opportunities here, but so does every homeowner in the county have an opportunity, or at least have a mild form of benefit, some of it major. But the key thing that I'm starting to find out is people are not applying for the homestead exemption. They qualify. I have applications on me even today. The lady showed me her tax returns on her phone. She said, my mother's 70 years old. She doesn't have enough money for too much. I mean, it's pretty bad out there with property taxes. People are worried about losing their homes. And she does not get, and she's on disability. So her numbers of savings could be huge. So the other thing that I thought was important, that we educate the public on how much that the people that don't know, can benefit from this. We have 19,550 people that receive the homestead exemption. I believe it's going to be more. So as soon as we did this, the next thing I know, people are walking into the auditor's office and they're pointing it up to the 4th floor to go, for us to deal with it, which is fine. So we laid out the applications in our offices. So when people come up to us and say, what's going on with the homestead exemption, we're giving them the application. I heard we made a mistake though. We put the wrong email out there or something. So I know if you look at the website that they did correct that. So I don't know if that helps. The headline in the Morning Journal today kind of made it sound like it was just some of the people. But if you're a homeowner in Lorain County and you're owner occupied, you did get a benefit. If you're a senior, you're going to get a benefit. If you're a veteran with disability, you will get a benefit. And if you're not, it's really easy to apply. But you got to apply and you got to get it in before December 31st to get the benefit for 2026. So this will be an immediate benefit. And I'm telling you right now, the whole issue on property taxes is going to be the #1 issue next year. And if you're not preparing it as a government entity, whether you're a township trustee or a school board, you better start. If this upsets you, what we did on Tuesday, just think how upset you're going to be when there's nothing there. And there is no way, I can see the state of Ohio increasing the sales tax so that they could take the money and then they'll take their cut and give it out to the schools. That means we have no control in our local schools. We no longer have local control on our local government. And we're going to be beholden to Columbus, which I'm not a big fan of. So that was the purpose of our meeting on Tuesday. That was the purpose of our vote. We voted to help out the homeowners that are owner occupied. And hopefully this might clear up a lot of the miscommunication. But my phones have been ringing off the hook. people saying thank you. We don't get that a lot. So it was nice to hear, and I'm still getting calls. I got a lot more callbacks from this, because people don't even understand that they qualify for homestead exemption. It may, you may not think it's a lot, but it is a lot of money when it's $500 to $800 for some of these people. So I just want to at least cover that in the old business, because there is a lot of misinformation going around. So I don't know if anyone else want to touch on that at all or not.
I'd like to add to it. Couple things. One of the things is as campaigning last year and being a commissioner this year, the number one complaint I had was about property taxes. And having to look at that, the voters have spoken. And they spoke loudly. Our school systems and many of our government agencies work on levies. And for them to get, a 25% increase in their budget, I hope that every agency that got that extra cash reduce their levies and reduce their expenses and charges to the residents. Unfortunately, I didn't receive, and I don't know about the other commissioners here, I didn't receive a call from a single agency saying, look, we got this windfall of cash. We don't need, this is not part of our budget. We should give it back. You don't hear that. So as this goes through, it's a tough decision to make, because it might look like we're attacking school systems. We're not. The voters are supposed to vote on their school levies and the money that they get. Yes, there is an increase when the properties are reevaluated, and usually to 3 to 4% at a given time. Well, when it comes up 25%, and we clawed back as much as we could. And that's not just schools. I'm just saying every government agency. And also, just to realize, this isn't a one-shot deal. This is perpetual. This is every single year. This is happening. This is large sums of money that have been given out. And also, furthermore, if they do, like Commissioner Moore was saying, eliminate tax, or eliminate property tax, big thing is to consider, okay, we have to, let's say we have to add 10%, or even just, let's call it 5% to our sales tax. We have border towns. I've seen it in many different instances, especially in the industry I am. People will go to the border towns and do their purchases. It'll further compound the aggravation that we have. So we have to be careful on what we do, and we have to be good stewards of our money. And that's what, there's quite a bit of it going on here. That's it for that, but I have something else I want to address.
Oh, an old business?
An old business.
Okay.
Okay, I'd like to close the conversation on the Homestead Act by reminding a couple of the bullet points. Commissioner Moore gave the complete story, but the bullet point takeaways are that 2 conflicting state laws, one passed in the 70s and one passed in the 90s, created the opportunity for the large increase that we had in the last 3 years, the hyperinflation in construction costs due to COVID. And so this tax was not budgeted, it was not anticipated, but when the math was done and they followed the law, which they did, it resulted in 25 to 30% increase in property taxes. It's a state problem with laws that, formed an intersection that no one anticipated. It needs to be corrected. Eliminating the tax is not the correction. Getting it into place and doing so, other states, they put a cap of cost of living on tax increases so that you can't get 25 and 30%. Because again, this is tax that you pay, you don't mind, paying it when you sell your house, but if you have to pay it just to stay in it, it becomes an issue. And we looked very hard at the thing as Commissioner Moore's homework will show you. The state gave us the ability to give some relief to the seniors, recognizing that they were the most impacted by the 25-30% increase in property tax. And the qualifications to get the homestead exemption are to be 65 years of age, or to be handicapped, or to be disabled, okay, or to be a widow or widower of a veteran, and a requirement of less than $45,000 in income for the household. 40,000. So as a result, these are the people most impacted by a huge increase. They're on fixed income, they're living in the home that they've had for years, They're trying to end their life in that home without having to go through other arrangements and lose their independence. And the homestead exemption was not a way to fix this problem, but it was a way to get some measure of relief to those that are the most impacted by the problem that occurred. So we were glad to do it under that basis. We did do the homework. Congratulations to Commissioner Moore. He did the deep dive, and before we did it, every time we look at something, we have to look at who's gonna pay and who's gonna benefit. And he did that, and the results were self-evident, and we took the action, and like I said, it should be a wake-up call to get to the state legislature and the school boards and put them in a room and figure this out. That's all I have on that.
All right. Earlier this week, we were addressing shredding paper for JFS, and talking to solid waste and talking to JFS. They will no longer be needing that requisition for money, so that it is being permanently tabled.
Good work.
Tell them. Did you know that till just now? Okay, well, now they know.
The answer came yesterday. Just so you know.
So it won't
I had a
be on-
meeting with them yesterday.
I'm just
Sorry,
looking-
I wasn't here to
I was
see.
looking at Karen's face. She had that, uh-oh, what's going on look. So I
Yeah, we
thought-
don't need it.
Okay.
So take it
So
off
since it's
Take it
the
off.
agenda.
since it's tabled, we don't have to, was it back on here today?
Well, it wasn't even tabled. We just moved it till the 21st agenda, so it won't even
Okay.
be on the 21st.
Okay.
It
so-
won't be on the
Yeah.
21st.
Okay.
Okay. Anything further under
Nope.
old business? Okay, board business. Number 9, approve and waive the reading of the county commissioners meeting minutes of October 7th.
So moved?
Second?
Discussion? Commissioner Riddell?
Aye.
Commissioner Gallagher?
Aye.
Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
10, appoint Dan Haight as Lorain County Representative, Region 19, 1 Ohio Governance Board until December 31st of 25.
So moved.
Second?
Discussion?
Yes, this one came with a second action required, and we just got news late yesterday after the agenda was already printed. But this is not just an appointment for an individual to the Region 19 board, but also there was an appointment for an alternate. And we clarified that the alternate is there to represent when Mr. Height can't be there, but the alternate cannot vote, as cannot Mr. Height, on anything involving Rivian. So we got that squared away, and so I'd like to amend this motion that Mr. Niski be appointed as the alternate to Dan Height to the Region 19 board. I get a second to my amendment?
I'll second it.
We okay?
Yeah, I
Is there
think
any
so.
reason that, Teresa, can you think of any reason that he can't amend the resolution on the floor as it is?
No, there was a motion and second and discussion, so he made a motion to amend
Mhm.
the second, so we have to vote on that amendment and then vote on. So,
Okay.
Commissioner Riddell?
Aye.
Commissioner Gallagher?
Aye.
Commissioner Moore?
Aye, and that's for the amendment.
Correct.
Okay.
And now appoint Dan Haight as Lorain County Representative, Region 19, with his alternate John Niski to the 1 Ohio Governance Board until December 31st of 25.
So,
I thought we already had a motion on that. Now we're voting, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Aye.
No, you have to make we,
We already made a motion.
No, this is another motion.
right, but
Yeah.
it was a,
I know.
okay.
Well, in the process
So
of-
moved.
Second?
Discussion. Commissioner Moore?
Discussion, I'd like to at least acknowledge Tom Stuber, who's being replaced, who retired, who's got decades of fantastic service here for Lorain County. He's done a lot of great work for us, and I at least want to acknowledge Tom Stuber's work, and he already retired once. This is his retirement from the board, too, so I just want to thank him for his service. So, aye. Go ahead.
Commissioner Moore? Commissioner Gallagher?
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell?
aye.
Okay. Number 11, accepting the Chalco Consulting Group Actuary Report and establish Lorain County Healthcare Plan premium rates effective January 1st of 26.
So moved?
Second.
Discussion.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have some discussion now.
Yes, this is the place where we'll try and address some of the questions from this morning. The presentation was made several weeks ago, and I regret that we didn't get the opportunity to address those questions direct. If they were questions a couple of weeks ago, we could have answered them a couple of weeks ago. So in the interest of time, we'll try and deal with the bulk of them this morning. And we have with us the folks that do the actuary and our representative for the healthcare plan. So I would like to lead that with Jacob's first question was, why are the rates so high?
You wanna have these reserves?
No, why are the reserves so
I
high?
might as well have them come on up to the podium.
Well,
Yeah. Or do you want?
we want to address it to the group.
Oh, okay,
They got their chance to speak, this is our chance to
Okay.
answer.
okay.
Okay, and so at the end of the day, the reserve is established by ordinance at 30% for a target, and the minimum is 25% where we need to, 25 is the target. If it goes to 20, we have to take some action, and if it goes to 30, we have to take action to put more into the fund. So at the end of the day, that thing is a floating number, and it's based on the claims, and it's based on the $45 million that we had in outright hospitalization claims for last year. To the second case about the cost of the hospitalization, I need to remind folks that, yes, it's expensive, but this is our policy, and we pay for it. So at the end of the day, the 15% that's paid for by the employee and the 85% that's paid for by the taxpayers, we pay the claims. This is not like an insurance policy where you turn in a claim and it's accepted or rejected. This is a very rich healthcare plan, and all of the claims are not anybody except the 1,700 and some people that work for Lorain County. So these are our bills that represent that $45 million. And that represents us using the plan, which we want people to do. And that this is not paying for insurance. And then the idea of the stopgap insurance, the stop loss is not for the plan, it's by the claim. Correct me if I'm wrong, but our stop loss is at 500,000? So if a claim goes over 500,000, the stop loss insurance pays the rest. So in today's world, if we had $1 million claim, this plan would pay the first $500,000, and the stop loss pays the second half. It does not insure the plan; it ensures that each claim shall get paid what it needs to get paid as billed. So, we can't equate the $45 million and the stop loss insurance. They're not really related to each other. Secondly, there was a question concerning the emergency room, and we had the emergency room was being used for non-emergency issues. And so at the end of the day, because it was $50, it was cheaper to go to the emergency room than it was to go to urgent care. We reversed that. We used those monies to pay for pay for deductibles so that nobody had to pay for preventive health care. And I can't recall the figure, but could you share it again, because you did at the original presentation, what we saved in non-emergency, emergency room?
Yeah, a couple of years ago, we looked at the number, there was
Can you give him a microphone?
dollars in claims on non-emergency use of the emergency room.
He needs a mic.
Yeah, he needs them.
Or come on up to the mic, one or the other. Can you restate what you just said?
Yes. A couple years ago, when we were looking at the plan, we had it was a little under, it was like 494,000 in non-emergency use of an emergency room. That was probably 2 or 3 years ago. So what we had done is we upped when we added the preventative services at 100%, we upped the copay on the non-emergency, on using an emergency room for a non-emergency. However, you don't pay that copay in an emergency situation. So it's not $300 if you're having a heart attack in the emergency room. It's when you go there with a hangnail and you could have been at the urgent care. And that has since gone down. But people are still using the emergency room for emergencies, and that is not affected on that copay.
Yeah. So I take some responsibility as a commissioner if you put the pieces together, the question that was asked and what was done. It is our individual responsibility to understand our insurance and how it works and what it pays. And in this case, we changed the emergency room to wipe out the non-emergency use of the room because it was costing the plan essentially $500,000. But an individual is in charge of what's an emergency and what's not. I think the most cogent point that was just made is that I feel bad for the individual that didn't go to the emergency room because they thought the $350 was going to be a lot. And that is, if it's a true emergency, you do not pay the $350. Well,
You have to be admitted for it not to be an emergency.
well, and in this case, you know, I'm not a doctor and I don't know the rest of the story, but I'm just saying that if it was a true emergency, then they would not have paid. And if it was a non-emergency and could have been handled at urgent care, that's where it needs to go. So an individual, if they don't want to go to the emergency room, they need to seek out an urgent care. So again, we're not going to have a debate, but we have to be sure that both sides of the story are told, and that's what we're going to accomplish here. Okay? Secondly, the answer is yes. The three commissioners up here, I can't speak for Commissioner Gallagher, but I'm on the same insurance that you are. So to the question, is it all 1,700 and some us people that are on the policy, we all have the same insurance, same deductibles, same copays, same umbrella, okay? So, you know, I don't know where that question came from, but I thought it was important to answer it. Yes, go ahead.
Couple things. Number one, we are very, very conscious of our medical coverages, and compared to other organizations or other cities and municipalities, we have a very, very, very good policy. I, as an employer, handle my health care for my own business, and I can tell you, it's a difficult thing. The rates are going up, and I can assure you, and I don't normally tilt my hat to what I'm doing, what I do, but us commissioners are looking into different prescription ways of handling prescriptions. Not a cut in prescriptions by any means. It wouldn't be a cut. It has to do with pharmacy. But the bottom line is costs are going up. As an employer, it is hard. It's very hard to get good insurance, and especially with participation. We might have some participation things we have to look at. We have to look at a bunch of options to keep the costs down. When there's like Commissioner Riddell said here with the emergency room visits. Emergency room visits, sometimes they are emergency. Many times they are. But there are many times they're not. And I looked at the numbers, and I can assure you, I can stand by those numbers. Those numbers are reality. And our cost for managing our group has not changed. It has actually gone up. It hasn't changed for the better. It has gone up. So now we have to look at alternatives to keep the cost down. I had to do it in my own company, and I had to do higher deductibles and FSAs and different plans. We are still looking at that today. We are going to look at that, and we are going to try and make changes that benefit without cutting services. So I hate to say it, but it's a hard reality. You're seeing us looking at expenses and everything we're doing so we can keep employees with good wages and good health care.
So at the end of the day, we indicated when we brought this subject to the table that these are the rates for 2026. We will engage, the administrative team has it high on their list of priorities, but we will spend the first half of '26 looking at the plan, what it pays for, and the market around us. And this is not about shopping a policy rate, because again, we really don't have an insurance company. We have the stop loss. These are our claims. When each of us in this room that's under the plan, when we go out and generate a claim, this plan pays it. And yes, the world has gone up about 6% in healthcare premiums, but our plan, which is self-funded, has far exceeded that. And the reason it has is because of usage. And so at the end of the day, the numbers are the numbers. And if we don't maintain a reserve, the reality is that someday when the checkbook is empty, then none of us will have hospitalization. And there are many million-dollar claims these days. So, you know, I'm not going to get into a debate. You had your time. And you had 10 days that you could have approached the commissioners and asked questions through your bargaining rep or whatever, and that wasn't done. So nobody rang my number, nobody emailed me to explain anything. So, you know, this is not going to become a free-for-all. We're going to have an intelligent conversation. You can share your concerns. We can share our facts. That's how it's going to work. Okay? Mr. Baker, sit down.
I asked 3 questions.
Mr. Baker, sit down.
You should answer my 3 questions.
I haven't gotten to you yet.
You act like you were gonna vote.
Well, I guess you made a mistake.
Well, maybe I did.
Yeah, I accept your apology.
I apologize. Please answer my question.
Just so happens that's the next sheet of paper. The $3.1 million in rebates was included in all the calculations that were used. That's why it's in the red ink. So, you know, the fact that you think that we're $3 million too fat is just simply either a perceptual error or a mathematical error, but I present to you again the table that we presented 2 weeks ago to show you that all the numbers are the numbers. And the plan does get the rebates from the drug companies that are given. We weren't getting that. We changed vendors. We are getting that. Secondly, the plan, I do not believe it requires that those that are eligible for Medicare go to Medicare, does it?
You cannot force them to go to Medicare.
We cannot force them to go to Medicare. So that's the answer to your second question. Your third question is a bargaining unit. And we have people that handle the bargaining, and I'm not personally in a place to answer that question. So that's your 3 questions, Mr. Baker. That's the conversation that I have on the motion on the floor.
Is there anything further? Nope. Commissioner Gallagher?
Yes.
Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell?
Aye.
Number 12, adopt Lorain County Cybersecurity Program Charter in compliance with the Ohio Revised Code 9.64, effective retroactive to September 30th of '25. This program ensures the availability, confidentiality, integrity of all county information systems, data, and technology resources.
Move to approve.
Second?
Discussion. Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Gallagher?
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell?
Aye.
Number 13, authorize a building renovation of Lorain County Drug Force Office, Elyria to Empire Today, Twinsburg, in the amount of $4,828.96. This is to accommodate the increased personnel not occupying the building.
Move to approve.
Second?
Do we wanna, I think, we might wanna deny this one,
Correct.
so.
Okay.
I think,
Discussion.
yeah, I think, we're gonna, I talked to the sheriff, we put this on the resolution, I think, we have to respect his wishes and vote this down, I believe. So, helps us out with funding.
Anything further? Commissioner Moore?
No.
Commissioner Gallagher?
No.
Commissioner Riddell?
No.
14, approve and enter an agreement with Coverall North America, Inc., Valley View, Ohio, for cleaning services for Lorain County Sheriff's Office, administrative and operational facilities, in the amount of $4,429 per month. Said agreement shall be for 1 year with 1 year renewal and contains a 30-day cancellation clause and will be paid from the contractual purchase services account.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion. Commissioner Moore.
Aye.
Commissioner Gallagher.
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell.
Aye.
TB 15, enter an agreement with Ohio Department of Health for tuberculosis funding in the amount of $4,996.71 per TB case, meeting treatment standards for 2024, which Lorain County Public Health Department has agreed to provide these services for the county.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion.
Yeah. I don't know if, maybe Casey. We suspended the property tax collection in regards to TB, and I think it's only out there for 1 more year, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So is this coming out of that account that we,
Well, no, this actually, what you guys are approving today, this is entering the contract with the state. We're going to be reimbursed from the state that $4,000,
Right.
whatever that figure is. I believe there were 3 cases. I'm trying to look. There were
There was-
either
yeah, there's
2
a
or 3
couple.
cases last year that the state is reimbursing us the expenses that we treated those cases. But yes, the expenses to pay for those cases before we're being reimbursed is coming out of that fund. Yes.
now do we have to suspend it again before the end of this year for the collection for next
I
year?
believe that has to be done annually.
And-
So we'll have to do that again
Yeah, but,
in 26.
yeah,
I think you guys already did the resolution 25. So
Right.
yeah,
And then I think after 26 and that's it, we just let it fall
it
off,
expires.
correct?
Correct.
Okay, so just, you got a note on there for next year to make sure we suspend it for 1 more year?
Teresa, yeah, we got you taken
Teresa's
care of.
got it.
We got you taken care of it.
Okay.
Anything further?
Yeah, the main thing was that there's over close to $1 million sitting in that account? And there's no need to keep taxing people, right?
Right. So we have enough funds in that
For
account
for at least 10 to 15 years?
Correct.
Okay. Thank you.
Anything further?
No.
Commissioner Moore.
Aye.
Commissioner Gallagher.
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell.
Aye.
County administrators?
No report.
I have no report.
You didn't look like you had one.
I had to think about that. Board correspondence?
Move to waive the reading of the board correspondence.
Second.
Discussion. Commissioner Moore.
Aye.
Commissioner Gallagher.
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell.
Aye.
New business.
Yes. The individual I'm about to talk about said, I don't want proclamations, I don't want nothing, I want to write off in the sunset. But he's in the audience now. I just want to thank Rob Berner for what you did for Lorain County, coming in and fixing the issues that we had at 911. And your job, when you took office, you told us you'd give us 2 years. I thought we could convince you to stay longer, but I guess that did not work. But the most important job that you had was to replace, your position with somebody that you trust that will be able to carry the ball. So I want to at least say thank you for what you did for the last 2 years, because I know it wasn't easy. I appreciate the hard work. I appreciate that we pretty much cashed in on all your life experiences in business and in the executive branch of the city of Avon Lake. And we, as a county, we're very fortunate to have you represent this board as a director at 911. So today's your retirement day. I thank you, and I see you're with Kurt will be the new standard bearer out there, I take it. And you're proud of that, I take it? That's why I just want to acknowledge you, and I appreciate you coming in. You didn't want a proclamation or nothing, so.
Note that Kurt doesn't have as much gray hair and has more of it, so we can expect a long career of service. But I want to echo those comments and thank you both.
I like to say a comment when somebody good leaves. Eligible for rehire. Only kidding.
No, I can
I'm hopeful,
I can guarantee on Rob's pecking order that 3 commissioners don't outweigh 2 grandchildren.
Yeah.
Well, I also know he changed his cell phone, so we're done, I guess, right?
Thank you for your service.
Yeah.
You did a great job.
Thanks, Rob. All right. And good luck, Kurt.
Public comment?
Public comment. Mr. Baker, since you were last the first time, we'll make you first this time. I know, you're just having a bad day of figuring me out, that's all.
Brian Baker, 49822 Greystone Drive. I come up here to talk about the homestead, and I am 100% for giving our elderly reductions. But I will make a point, and I know there's a letter, and I didn't see it on the correspondence today. I do have one, and I will give to the clerk. It's from Columbia Schools. We were at a township trustee meeting, county trustee meeting last month. We were in Eaton Township. Commissioner Moore, I know that the superintendent came up, gave you his card, asked to have a conversation, because all we're doing is, we're just diverting taxes all over here, guys. I'm helping in Lorain schools on their levy, which I've worked on Lorain schools when they build them. I've helped there, my grandkids go there. What people don't understand is, out of that money that you said they gained, the state also took $3.5 million away from the schools. So you just took another $780,000. They just lost almost $4.5 million, and they're trying to get renewals just to stay even. Amherst schools lost $455,000. They got an income tax on. The funding next year, if anybody doesn't understand, and you guys are going to run it too, renewals cannot be put on as renewals no more. They have to be put on as new money. If you guys think here that we're going to pass things on new money, we're not. I would say when you talked about 1997, I was here when that all went on. Governor Kasich, I think Jeff, you were probably down there, we stopped local share coming back to the locals. Everybody said this day was coming then. It's here now. Now we got a problem. It's one-party rule that's got to fix this. I told my daughter, she's on the school board, I said, you should be here and ask them, tell me how you're going to balance the budget. They cut $10 million, put up 2 renewals on. If one doesn't fail, they got to put it on as new money next year. They're going to be out of business. If we don't train these kids, how are we going to attract business to here? It's terrible what's going on. The one piece on the homestead, though, that isn't done here, and I'd ask you if you had a legal opinion with it, Dave, the state reimburses now for the homestead, not this second one. Who reimburses for this second one?
Nobody.
Nobody.
So did you get a legal opinion to say that? And if you did, I would like to make a public request for information for that legal opinion here today. The other thing, Commissioner Riddell, I do think one thing, and maybe you asked the prosecutor, but when you walked outside, we're in a public meeting. I think everything that you talked to Mr. Parson is violation of the Sunshine Rule. So I'd ask you
Just so
to
you
note that.
know,
So.
I got from Mr. Parsons the document to put up to answer your question.
Well, the part about it is, there's a clarification on page 1 of his diagram that you didn't put up. And it said, it does not include it. The other piece is, I asked you 2 weeks ago about the collective bargaining. Someone from Clemens and Nelson should have been here to address it. You told me you were gonna address them issues on that day. Go back in the tape and look at it.
We can't comment on open negotiations. That's what
They
the
can
team
come in
gets
and say
paid
you
to
don't
do.
fall under it. You know it and I know it.
Brian,
Thank you and have a good weekend.
If you want extra time to campaign, you gotta buy it.
Who else is up? Is that it or no?
No, Mr. Zimmerman?
Any more?
Just Phillips.
Good morning, William Zimmerman, Avon Lake. So I spent several minutes last night at the Lorco meeting, speaking with their representatives and some of the farmers and everybody who attended the meeting. And these people are not in favor of the Clearwater 6119. They made it abundantly clear to me that they are very happy in the situation they have. They're farmers who live in the same place that their parents did. Their children will potentially take over their farms, and they don't want any changes to it. They're happy with all of that. Now, the thing that I found interesting, though, was the people who run Lorco there weren't always aware that the city of Avon Lake had not started to pass the petition. And now they've been told things have changed and that there will potentially be 3 administrators, 2 from Avon Lake and 1 from the commissioner. And they weren't even going to be represented anymore. So that was a conversation I found very interesting. I don't think that that's necessarily accurate. They may not have had all the information either, but I don't think that would be fair. I mean, as I've indicated several times, Lorco owing the city of Avon Lake $14 million, I don't think is fair either. So I would hope that somehow, some way, and I don't know if you guys have to vote again on a new petition because the rules have changed or the dialogue has changed in regards to how this idea will move forward and if those rules will change. So I'm really kind of lost. I don't know if this project's dead in the water yet, and if it's not, I sure hope it will be.
Mr. Phillips?
First of all, I think 2 minutes is not enough time. There's been a number of items I would love to talk about. No, don't turn it over yet because this is introductory.
This is your time.
No, well, hey, you want a lawsuit? I'll talk about Clearwater then, or what I call dirty water. I went to the Lorco meeting too. And as Mr. Zimmerman said, the Lorco was going to be eliminated. I also pulled out the state auditors, the CAFRA for Lorco, and somehow it looks like they have the money to pay us, and I'm not sure why. But they've been getting free sewer treatment from my city, Avon Lake. I pay my sewer bills. They don't. This clear water, okay, or dirty water, I can guarantee you, okay, that if it passes in a form I don't like, you'll be in court. I've done the appeal on this 6119 20 years ago, and I'll do another one. So I hope a good deal is made. You're going to have to vote on a new one to answer Mr. Zimmerman, because you vote on a plan that doesn't exist anymore. And I hope you look at the feasibility. You know, Avon Lake made $2.9 million in 23 cash flow. Your feasibility study doesn't even make $3 million in 5 years, and it requires a 5% increase on me and the residents in Avon Lake. And once they find out about that, they're not going to approve it. And right now, I get to vote for the 5 people on my utilities board. I lose that right to vote. I can't vote on these board members. Right now, I can vote these people out when they don't do a good job. And you, Mr. Gallagher, you're in Avon Lake. You get to approve those people too, because you get the right to vote. Do you like losing your right to vote? I do. In fact, I think that's American. Isn't that what we call democracy? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We will continue to work to resolve the wastewater issues for the residents all of Lorain County in whatever form they may take. There being no further business, meeting is adjourned.
Thank you.
I'll give that one to Dave.